Today, Kip and I are going to talk about recruiting plots and killing plots. First up is Kip.
A kill plot is essentially a small food plot designed to provide the opportunity to shoot a deer in. They generally range in size from an eighth to a half acre, but the important point is they are strategically designed with respect to size, shape, and location to tip the odds in the hunter's favor. Select a spot downwind from a bedding area that's between the bedding area and a high-quality food source such as an alfalfa or a soybean field. Proper distance from the bedding area will depend largely on the accessibility of the plot. Plots that you can access quickly and covertly can be placed closer to bedding areas. And this is preferred because bucks generally hit the large nutritional plots just after dark. Thus, they'll ideally will move through the small kill plot and route to the larger plots with plenty of shooting light left. Be sure to design your kill plots with 1 to 2 stand locations in mind. Be conscious of wind direction and alter the habitat if necessary to create the movement pattern you want deer to take as they pass through your plot. Ideally, your plot should not be directly between the bedding area and a major food source, as deer moving through may wind you as they leave. A better setup is to be slightly above or below that straight line between the two so that deer won't wind you either entering or exiting the plot. To be within bow range, you need to be close to the plot, but you don't want to feel like you're right on top of it. I prefer a setup where the middle of the plot wraps around a small group of trees. This provides covert access to my stand and allows me to remain well concealed just off the plot while still keeping it all within bow range. The perfect setup rarely happens on existing plots, but is entirely possible to create when designing new ones.
Now that we've learned about killing plots, we're going to talk about recruiting plots. You know, the purpose of a killing plot is, as Kip has mentioned, is to draw deer within a smaller range, within bow distance or muzzleloader distance or shotgun distance of the hunter, you know. But the key to recruiting plots is to attract, if you would, your neighbor's deer and your neighbor's neighbor's deer. You want them to come to your property. You want them to like it so much because of your habitat and your food source that they take up residency. That's the goal of a recruiting plot. Now the shape, there's all different types of shapes and sizes. The size has a lot to do with the deer populace in that immediate area, because you don't want the plot necessarily to be any larger than it has to be, because that's a waste of money and space. It could be habitat for warm season grasses or any variety of habitat. So what I like about shape, considering that, is that it is large, it's larger than a killing plot, but somewhere on that recruiting plot it narrows. Somewhere it narrows, and that's where you pinch them, because for whatever reason, when a deer is feeding on one end of it, he's got to get to the other end. One end has every bit the nourishment and the amount of food that he needs to satisfy his diet, but he has to go to the other side. So what you want to do is you want to pinch him somewhere along that way. I like the hourglass design. It doesn't have to be a perfect hourglass, just somewhere that pinches them, because that'll provide the best results for attracting them and killing them.